I want to address this issue of continual issue of the marginalization of CTUSAB. And I believe that this media is appropriate that we sensitize the media to some of the matters in this particular instance that we have to make public, because it is not, we have to look at what is fair and just in the circumstances and to see whether CTUSAB is being given a fair deal as a national trade union incentive. So I want to say to you this morning that CTUSAB continues to question the recognition given to it by the government of Barbados as the National Trade Union Center on this island. Under successive protocols of Barbados, and I'm going from 1 to 6, we know about to go to 7. CTUSAB as a social partner is referred to as the workers' representative. This tends to convey to the public that the government recognizes CTUSAB as the island's national trade union center. Under successive protocols and in the practice, successive governments of Barbados have not been known to question the status of the Barbados Private Sector Association, the BPSA, as an umbrella organization which speaks on behalf of the various sectors of the private sector, that include the Barbados Chamber of Commerce, the Barbados Employers Confederation, the Barbados Manufacturers Association, and the Barbados Hotel Association. CTUSAB, like its counterpart in the BPSA, seemingly has the same construct, where it speaks on behalf of the majority of membership within its sphere of operations. If it is that the BPSA construct allows it to be credited as the most representative of workers' organizations, it begs the question as to what yardstick is being applied by the government when it comes to CTUSAB as the National Trade Union Center of Barbados. It suggests to us that CTUSAB seems to be treated differently. It's quite baffling what is the informed decision being made by the government of Barbados to continually exclude the Congress of Trade Unions and Staff Associations of Barbados, which have 9 affiliated member organizations, in preference to the Barbados Youth Workers Union, which is a registered private sector trade union. History recalls that in 1995, under the chairmanship of the then Leroy Trotman, General Secretary of the Barbados Workers Union, CTUSAB was acknowledged and accepted as the National Trade Union Center by successive governments. Ever since then, nothing has changed, except the fact that the BW and the BSTU have withdrawn their membership from CTUSAB. It's important that in the years 2013, 14, and 17 respectively, CTUSAB was invited by the government of Barbados to attend the International Labour Conference in Geneva. It is a fact that the Barbados Workers Union complained to the ILO Credentials Committee against the decision of the government to name CTUSAB as the workers' delegate to the 2014 International Labour Conference. The record shows that the ILO Credentials Committee did not uphold the objection raised by the Barbados Workers Union. CTUSAB has repeatedly submitted proposals to the Minister of Labour, Social Partnership and the Third Sector, the basis of which is the consideration of a rotation principle, where the BW and CTUSAB can alternate as the workers' delegate and advisor in the Barbados delegation to the annual Labour Conference. The non-entertainment of the CTUSAB proposal would have led to a complaint being lodged by the Congress to the ILO's Credentials Committee that questioned its continual exclusion by the Barbados government delegation. The Congress notes that with interest, that statements attributed to the Honorable Colin Jordan, Minister of Labour, Social Security and Third Sector, which were carried in Barbados Today newspaper, Thursday, 27th of March 2025. This was in response to a statement made by the CTUSAB General Secretary that since 2012, following the withdrawal of the Barbados Workers Union from CTUSAB, the National Trade Union Center has faced marginalization. The newspaper reported that Minister Jordan, and I quote, was adamant that the President's comment this week seemed like another attempt by him to discredit the government, following the President's letter to the ILO Credentials Committee around the time of the ILC in 2022, where the government was accused of not consulting on the composition of the delegation. End of quote. It begs the question if Minister Jordan will share the same view that it was an attempt to embarrass the then government of Barbados when the Barbados Workers Union in 2012 raised an objection to the ILO Credentials Committee against the invitation issued by the government of Barbados to CTUSAB to name the workers delegate to the International Labour Conference. On the ILO Constitution, it is established that the government holds membership status and so maintains the right to select the workers and employers' organizations who will nominate the workers and employers delegate and advisors to attend the annual Labour Conference in Geneva, Switzerland. Today, CTUSAB shares with the public the context of a letter that was signed by Leroy Trotman, General Secretary of the Barbados Workers Union, dated 20th of December 2012, which was directed to the President CTUSAB, and which addressed the matter of CTUSAB attendance. I am going to quote the contents of that letter. It reads, I thank you for your letter to the Barbados Workers Union, BW, dated 18th of December 2012, regarding the International Labour Conference. I wish to assure you that the BW has repeatedly requested the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Labour, to convene a meeting of the relevant parties to address the matter of the comprehensive representation status of workers of the BW at that conference. I wish also to remind you that the position has, in the past, done no violence to the BW's understanding of the role which the CTUSAB should be playing in Barbados using acceptable and justifiable elements of analysis and reasoning. End of quote. It can be concluded from the BW statement that there is a recognition of CTUSAB as a national trade union center, which should be accorded with the befitting status which the government seemed not to be so inclined to do. Going beyond the attendance of the LC, CTUSAB continues to lament the fact that it has been faced with marginalization in its attempt to secure membership of the Caribbean Congress of Labour, CCL, and the International Confederation of Free Trade Unions, ICFTU. The facts are that in 2005, the Barbados Workers Union objected to CTUSAB application for affiliation to the ICFTU. The membership was not granted. In April 2015, CTUSAB applied and was accepted in the membership of the Caribbean Congress of Labour. This was confirmed by way of letter dated the 27th of August 2015 at the CCL Triennial Congress or Conference held in Antigua on the 24th to the 26th of October of that year, 2015. The decision was taken to revoke the membership of CTUSAB. As difficult as it is to say, the resolution passed at that conference received the support both of the Barbados Workers Union and the National Union of Public Workers. Based on the evidence, it would seem that there are forces at work to hinder the progress of CTUSAB. This, however, will not deter CTUSAB from continuing its efforts to secure affiliation to regional and international organizations, as it is committed to promoting the closer working relationship with any other social, political, or economic institution where that relationship has potential to advance the aims of the Congress. As CTUSAB joins the celebration of Workers' Day 2025, it wishes to assure members of the workforce and the public of Barbados of its resolve and commitment to promoting the interests of its member organizations and generally to advance the social and economic welfare of the workers of Barbados.
Well, we put down the union with marginalization.
I cannot tell you that. I live in front of myself.
You don't have a general idea.
We have done everything correct. Everything that we should is following the process, is made on the recommend application. I can even tell you, when we CCL had the conference there in Barbados, we were invited to conference, but the meeting that we had, CTUSAB had to provide all the information to justify membership. It satisfied every requirement of the Constitution. That was I didn't informed that they had to be involved it would be installed the membership. Received the letter of confirmation, attending first meeting, and then we were told at that meeting that for us to be a member, never before we were told this, and for us to be a member, the Barbados teachers should be a member of TCL, and the NUPW and the BW, who are all members of TCL, would have to say that they approve of us being members. That's what we were told. The resolution was tabled on the floor, and it was vociferously represented by the persons who represent the Barbados representative, and I call their names, and the roles who represent NUPW. And the prominent persons that we are talking about here. And immediately, a vote was taken to revoke the membership of CTUSAB. The ICFTU, we went to Geneva, we had discussions, the vice president came to Barbados, met with the president then, Cedric Murray and myself, showed us that we have satisfied all the requirements of membership. He left us and he went to another place, and then journeyed back to where he from where he came. Within days of him returning, we got a letter from him with one line saying, your membership cannot be detained at this step.
Okay, so help me to understand the key difference. I just want to be clear. The BW, the BUT, and UPW, these trade unions, they have members who work at different workplaces and so on. The CTUSAB has that type of membership as well?
No, CTUSAB represent member organization. We are a national center. We have all the trade unions who are staff associations who want to be a member of the national center, which is the umbrella body. We represent at the national level, policy, and have input into national governance and so forth. And we also represent interests of our members who have matters for that they have of resolve or for direction. We have the system in those areas. We do education and training. We do those macro things, but we are not involved in the day-to-day exercise. They recruit members.
And
That's not our
right. You don't have anything to do with marginalization in terms of people seeing you as not really a union as such.
We're not a union that way. That's the big difference. At the level of the CFTU, at the level of the CCL, they operate by identified with national trade union centers.
Right.
At the LO, the same thing. For some reason, CTUSAB did not allow or treated as though the National Trade Union Center, but the government has the right to determine the delegation. So the government determines that a union is bigger and better than a Congress. Simply put.
You got a list of the unions that are under the umbrella now?
Yes, this beauty, this the NPW Student Command. They have the
Nurses,
nurses.
BNA,
The Police Association. You have the
UT.
no.
BUT and UPW, nurses and police, that's once so far.
CISA.
She's Association.
Yeah.
You have the Prison Officers Association. That was very right. They give police.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the average nurses Association of Barbados.
What? Nurses, what?
Is assistants.
Nurse and aid assistant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
assistants.
Uh-huh.
Association of Barbados and the
BUT and UPW, BNA, the Police Association, CISA, Prison Officers, Nurses, Aid Assistants, BAM.
Well, maybe if the union between
I only have
Barbados and others, doesn't mean that the union members no longer have representation on the national level when it comes to the individual workplace.
Yeah, the question.
since
So, take away CTUSAB. If the BWU then is who going to represent Barbados on the international stage, then all these other unions, they're not gonna have a stake.
no, we don't have because we don't even know how to be that. It's not matter to not to report us.
Oh,
The government,
So they don't have to report the fleet.
that's not report us. Going for more stuff. We don't know. We don't get any information about what happened to you. All right, that's the greatest, unfortunately.